Let's take a look at the Fiedler's Contingency theory of leadership, a situational leadership theory. Fiedler's contingency theory states that in order to maximize workgroup performance, leaders must be matched to the right leadership situation. More specifically, the first basic assumption of Fiedler's theory is that leaders are effective when work groups they lead perform well. So instead of judging other leaders' effectiveness by what they do, that is, initiating structure and consideration, or who they are, that is, trait theory, Fiedler assesses leaders by the conduct and performance of the people they supervise. Second, Fiedler assumes that leaders are generally unable to change their leadership styles and that they will be more effective when their styles are matched to the proper situation. This explains why company founders are not always best suited to lead their organizations. When Fiedler refers to leadership style, he means the way that leaders generally behave towards their followers. Do the leaders yell and scream and blame others when things go wrong, or do they correct mistakes by listening and then quietly but directly making their point? Fiedler uses a questionnaire called the Least Preferred Coworker Scale to measure leadership style. When completing the Least Preferred Coworker or LPC scale, people are instructed to consider all of the people with whom they've ever worked and then choose the one person with whom they've worked the least well. Would you describe your LPC as pleasant, friendly, supportive, interesting, cheerful, or sincere? Or would you describe the person as unpleasant, unfriendly, hostile, boring, gloomy, and insincere? People who describe their LPC in a positive way, scoring 64 and above, have a relationship-oriented leadership style. After all, if they can still be positive about their least preferred coworker, they must be people-oriented. By contrast, people who describe their LPC in a negative way, scoring 57 or below, have a task-oriented leadership style. Given a choice, they'll focus first on getting the job done and second on making sure everyone gets along. Finally, those with moderate scores from 58 to 63 have a more flexible leadership style and can be somewhat relationship-oriented and somewhat task-oriented. Fiedler assumes that leaders will be more effective when their leadership styles are matched to a proper situation. More specifically, Fiedler defines situational favorableness as the degree to which a particular situation either permits or denies a leader the chance to influence the behavior of group members. The situational factors that determine the favorability of a situation include leader-member relations, task structure, and position power. The most important situational factor is leader-member relations, which refers to how well followers respect, trust, and like their leaders. When leader-member relations are good, followers trust the leader, and there's a friendly work atmosphere. Task structure is the degree to which the requirements of a subordinate's tasks are clearly specified. With highly structured tasks, employees have clear job responsibilities, goals, and procedures. Position power is the degree to which leaders are able to hire, fire, reward, and punish. The more influence leaders have over hiring, firing, rewards, and punishments, the greater their power. Relationship-oriented leaders with a high LPC score were better leaders, that is, their groups performed more effectively under moderately favorable situations. In moderately favorable situations, the leader may be liked somewhat, tasks may be somewhat structured, and the leader may have some position power. In this situation, a relationship-oriented leader improves leader-member relations, which is the most important of the three situational factors. In turn, morale and performance improve. By contrast, task-oriented leaders with low LPC scores are better leaders in highly favorable and unfavorable situations. Task-oriented leaders do well in favorable situations where leaders are liked, tasks are structured, and the leader has the power to hire, fire, reward, and punish. Finally, people with moderate LPC scores, who can be somewhat relationship-oriented or somewhat task-oriented, tend to do fairly well in situations because they adapt their behavior. Typically, though, they don't perform quite as well as relationship-oriented or task-oriented leaders whose leadership styles were well matched to a situation.